Hey, what's up, good people? It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. I am reading Daily Reflections. It is very interesting to me because of what it says about making amends. You know, I've been talking about that for a minute because I've been reading this for a minute. The reading today is entitled Didn't We Hurt Anybody? Didn't we hurt anybody? And I think that's a typo. It should be, did we hurt anybody? But hey, I could be wrong. Didn't we hurt anybody? And that's posed as a question. And it's funny because we have the rebuttal, or the thing that I like to refer to as the great lie. When we tell ourselves, I didn't hurt anybody. If anybody, I hurt myself. True enough, yes, you hurt yourself. I'll give you that. But in hurting yourself, you most definitely hurt others. Because there are people who love you. Amen. And when you hurt, they hurt. But we don't want to acknowledge that interconnection. You know, or, you know, we get into that trick bag, that, you know, that word I hate, the autonomy. Oh, it was my choice. Absolutely. It was your choice. You never heard me say anything about that. That is absolutely your choice. But let me again go to the scripture. All things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. And again, sin is exponential. You hurt people that loved you, and who may still love you depending on the gravity of the hurt. It may take time to heal. But see, what we do is, you know, we hide behind that sin. That's the excuse for not making amends. Well, they're mad at me. Oh, I don't know how to receive, you know, or, you know, we go back to that self-fulfilling prophecy, you know, that, you know, I'm no good and they're no good because they're mad at me. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to get back. It's not about you. You made the decision, and you toppled things like you were bowling, or it all fell like dominoes. And the reason that it all fell like dominoes is because you were never really connected. There was no foundation, no cornerstone. You weren't vested. Because if you were vested, you know, even when you're being human in your character defects and your faults, because you love, you have that foundation of love, you can come back and have conversation. You can come back and make amends. That's when your heart is right. You know, and then it's incumbent upon the person to forgive you, so their heart has to be right. They may be upset, and they may be hurt, and it may take time to rebuild their trust. Trust is very fragile, y'all. And it goes back to, above all else, guard your heart. You know, because people are most definitely going to guard theirs. But see, if we're rooted in love, we're mindful of each party's heart. Let me get into this reading. It says, some of us, though, tripped over a very different snag. We clung to the claim that when drinking, we never hurt anybody but ourselves, or when in sin, we never hurt anybody but ourselves. It says, this step seems so simple. I identified several people whom I harmed, but they were no longer available. Still, I was uneasy about the step and avoided conversation dealing with it. In time, I learned to investigate those steps and areas in my life which made me uncomfortable. See, you come to the realization that it's not about you. It's about the connection, it's about the relationship, it's about the love. You know, but some of us can never get past, it's all about me. You know, when do I get what I want? I want what I want when I want it. That addict mindset. That feed me, see more. Little Shop of Horrors reference. You know, if you think about that plant Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors, every time she fed on what? Blood, life, she grew. See, some of us have this vampiric attitude. Draining life flow, life forces. I also made reference to things we do in the shadow with the energy vampire. Just that pull. You know, I want this connection, but it's distorted. Since my search revealed my parents, who had been deeply hurt by my isolation from them, my employer, who worried about my absences, my memory lapses, my temper, and the friends I had shunned without explanation. As I faced the reality of the harm I had done, step 8 took on a new meaning. I am no longer uncomfortable, and I feel clean and light. See, most of us feel clean and light in a new atmosphere for people who don't know us because we've done a geographic. So we have these little structures, these little houses, like an ant trail, or like the termite dust, to show that we've been there and we've done damage. We've hollowed out something. Think about that visual. You know, some of you own property, so you can appreciate, you know, the kind of termite reference. And as kids, you know, if you look at the ant farms that some people were just thrilled with, I couldn't get, I understand, you know, the complex kind of societal dealings of the insects, but yeah, there's little trails, little holes where they bored into the soil, and you know, just to let people know that they've been there. And what happens on the anthill is they push the soil upward, but they weaken the ground because there are all these little trails. You know, or think of a gopher burrow, you know, and you know, something like a cow walking across the pasture and steps in a gopher hole and breaks his leg. That's the kind of damage that happens when we don't work the 8th step and we make amends. We repair, we restore. And that's the kind of damage that sin does to our lives, and why we need a Christ to repair and restore. Yeah, I got a lot out of that little reading. And you should too.